Hi, Christy here. I'm in my own Akashic records, and today I want to explore why it's more difficult for me personally, may not be universally true, but why it's more difficult for me personally to get good information in my Akashic records versus getting it for other people. That's not to say that I don't get good information for myself, because I do, but I feel like there's some barriers, some limits, some blocks perhaps. I don't love the word blocks, the idea of blocks, but some veils over things because of who I am and how I explore and where my sticking points are and so on. So I'm going to be really vulnerable and look at stuff for me personally, which may then be helpful for others as well. So, part of it is my impatience. I want the answer yesterday. I know this without looking in the records. I don't want to have the problems that I have. I want to have the solutions, and I want to go after it, and I want to do it, and I want to get it done. Yeah, I got it. So actually, while I'm in here, I'm gonna look at. I've already said probably other times that impatience from the perspective of Shin Jyutsu is a form of anger. It's I don't want this. It's I want to move on to something else. But all of the attitudes in Shin Jyutsu, worry, fear, anger, sadness, trying to, etc., they all are sourced by fear. So that impatience is probably, what I'm getting is the impatience is the fear of not looking smart. And first of all, being wrong for whatever's going on. And second of all, not being able to magically come up with some reason, explanation, suggestion, pathway out of whatever the thing is. So it's sort of that magical thinking that we just have to find the item, find the idea, the concept, and we just ferret it out and we're all done and we're all fixed. Versus perhaps the more useful thing of being with, this is how it is right now. And it may continue to be like this for the foreseeable future, perhaps forever. That's always the part that's hard to swallow. Of what if we really are not supposed to resolve everything, solve everything, get to the other side of everything. Sometimes we'll carry these things with us for a lifetime or a while. It's always fun for me when I'm reading someone's records and they'll be like, I was dating this guy, I wasted 5 years of my life dating this guy or something. And the records are like, 5 years compared to lifetime after lifetime, that was quick learning. Impatience of being human. We have these kind of long lifetimes when you compare a day to your life, but it sometimes feels like they're going by too quickly. I guess it's just the way to look at it. So the other thing that's coming up in my records is the idea that and this is me personally, it's probably true for a lot of us, I'm very wedded to certain stories that I've repeated them enough, I've said them enough, I no longer question them. And then to come in and say, please remove this. It's sort of the classic, hey universe, bring me what I can't have. I'm very wedded to this thing over here, but I sort of want it to be like this over here. How can I, have both things be true at once? And it's not like light, particle, and wave. It's like, no, these two things are mutually exclusive. You can't have the old way and the new way at the same time. So they're showing me a way in which I could further soften. One of my stories is that it's harder for me to get information in my Akashic records than other people's. Ding! There's a story to remove. What if it's not true? Or at least what if it's not true anymore? And that it is just as easy as long as I relax into low expectations. I don't have to have the perfect answer, and I don't have to have it solved immediately, and I don't have to have it be the most neat and tidy little package that I can then, tie a bow on and say, "Ta-da! This is amazing." But instead, maybe it's more love. More love for myself in whatever I'm in, more love for myself as I am in the process of perhaps untying the problem, perhaps loosening the knot, or perhaps not loosening the knot, not the knot. Yeah, that's kind of fascinating as I look at this. And I took a couple notes before to see, if any of these things would spark some information. And one of them is, I know what I know. And I think that's a barrier for me as well, because there's the impatience again of like, oh, I want to skip that. Like, I know that already. Like, if I go back to a past lifetime I've already looked at before, I'm kind of like, oh, yeah. I've already seen all this. And yet, with the wisdom of the records, they really do bring to me what is current, what is most resonant. If I look at someone else's records and I'm looking at for some kind of issue, I don't see every lifetime, past lifetime. I see pertinent past lifetimes. Why wouldn't the same thing apply to me? So if one comes back around, perhaps it's to be, delved into more deeply, explored more fully, or perhaps applying the question of, what am I missing and what does it look like? Because that's something that's been so helpful for me whenever I've gotten sort of stalled in the records, versus just like, no, there's nothing here. Gotta go. Moving on to the next thing. But instead, sort of luxuriating a little bit in the energy of the records, which is full of love and compassion, which feels so expanded. And turning down, dialing down the pressure on myself to get the right answer, to hurry up and get there, to not be uncomfortable. Let's move through the discomfort and get to the other side, and then we know everything's fine. Oh, I'm amusing myself today. So anyway, I suppose that's enough for right now. Let's see. In the comments below, I'd love to hear how you've updated some of your stories in your life. Things that you were very much committed to believing about yourself that you now have updated. I'd love to hear that in the comments. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. And in the meantime, please go be brilliant.